Dang it.
Screw this, I'm gonna buy plat. I just don't know what to do. I just keep dying. I mean... Alright, I'm gonna do something I thought I never would. Alright, here goes nothing.
Alert,
Yo,
illegal
what?
activity. Sleeper agent activated.
What is this?
Are you the Tooth Fairy? Oh, I know. You're here to recruit me to pull a heist on a rich person's house, to steal all the food in their pantry, to pay back a loan shark that's actually a bear because you owe him food, and food is the current... Yeah, I know that joke sucked. What are you here for? What is this? Dear Shirt, you have broken the terms of service by purchasing platinum from a third-party site. You will not be receiving your plat, and you will receive a 30-day game ban and an IP-wide trade ban? Hugs and Kisses Warframe. That's not so bad. I just not play Warframe for 30 days. Alright, this sucks. I'm gonna go play Warframe. Alright, if that skit made absolutely no sense to you, then let me just break it down in easy terms. I'm gonna be playing Warframe without trading at all, can't buy any plat, can't pay for anything in the game, and we're gonna beat it. We're gonna beat the entire game, no trading, free to play. It's a new kind of multi-part challenge. It's gonna serve both as a tutorial-like for beginners, but also an entertaining challenge and story for veterans. I chose this challenge because I love the idea of solo self-found challenges similar to Path of Exile and the Iron Man challenges in RuneScape. And after doubling my hours since my last Warframe video 7 years ago, I'm now much more well versed in all the mechanics and progressions in this game. And with this knowledge, I can confidently say you 100% can beat the entire game, as well as clear all endgame content, completely free to play, as well as without trading. Now, the fun part about not trading with anyone is that many items and mods are going to come from all different types of content. And for my veterans out there, that means running nightmare missions, vault runs, arbitrations, and much, much more. And if you don't know what any of that means, I'll be quick and concise with explanations as to not bore veterans, but also educate newer players. Warframe is one of the greatest free-to-play games of all time. There's no reason not to give it a good try, especially since Warframe 1999 just came out. So with all that yapping done, let's finally get on with Warframe without trading. As every good story begins, we start with introducing the main character, which in this case is picking one of 3 Warframes. We get the choice of Excalibur, Mag, or Volt. So with these 3, we're just going to pick Volt because he has the most versatile kit that has the potential to carry us into endgame alone. Every frame has 4 abilities. His 1 is a chain lightning cast that needs to be set on a target. His 2 is a speed buff that will increase movement and action speed for a set amount of time. His 3 is a barrier that no projectiles can pass through and just has a set duration. You can also pick it up and make it like smaller and mobile, but it's not really used too much. And finally, his 4 is an AoE that deals electric damage over time, stuns all enemies affected, and it also has chaining lightning effects. With all 4 of these abilities working cohesively together, this frame, in my opinion, stands above the rest of our current options. It's what we'll be using for the first 1 to 2 dozen hours of the game. That is until we get a certain Warframe that will carry us for the vast majority of content in the game. More on her later. With that done, we're given a tutorial, which would be sick if I wasn't already a corked up white boy goated with the movement sauce. Yeah, I know how to do everything, man. I'm the master. I'm the master chief. During which the only notable thing here is that we picked up the bow, Lado, and Bratton, which is not gibberish. Those are weapons. You'll get used to it at some point. It being naming conventions in Warframe, everything is just like alien sounding. Like they somehow invented a plethora of new words or like a language for this universe. We take off in our spaceship and we're greeted with our first daily reward, which is an Oricon cell. We'll need plenty of these later. Afterwards, I open up my inbox and...
left in the orbiter compartment.
Okay, so this is kind of crazy, actually. These items are insane. A legendary core is absurd. Ortis, shut up, please. Okay, this mail is wild because I was not expecting to have Warframe slots and weapon slots, and a legendary core is just like insane. 5 Forma, and then a Dex Nikana for some reason. So much form. Okay. This feels like cheating. But the game just gave it to me, and I can't delete Warframe and weapon slots. You guys saw, this is a fresh account. This is a mastery level 0 account, and it's giving me all this stuff. So we are unfortunately just gonna roll with it, but at the end of the day, it's just gonna save time more than anything. Holy shit. The game just gives us free Warframe and weapon slots, both of which are going to be the biggest struggle of this entire challenge because you cannot buy them outside of spending platinum on them. That's why trading feels so necessary in this game. Just to make a couple platinum here and there to increase your Warframe slots. So with the complimentary non-tradable 50 platinum the game gives you, we'll probably be spending it all on Warframe slots. I'd recommend the same for newer players, but this platinum is untradeable, so just do whatever you want with it, really. We're also absolutely blessed with a legendary core. I can't even state how important this is. This item saves us hundreds of thousands of credits, as well as tens of thousands of endo on getting any mod we want to max rank. Anyways, let's rip this band-aid off now. The most confusing part to newcomers is modding. Let's keep this brief and simple for now. Veterans, just skip ahead using the chapters on the timeline, and you can skip right past this explanation. Okay, now that they're actually gone, modding is fairly simple but seems daunting. Throughout playing Warframe, you'll constantly pick up new mods. These all have a cost you can see on the top right. Every Warframe and weapon has a capacity. Each Warframe and weapon can be leveled up from 0 to 30, gaining 1 capacity with each level up to a max level of 30 with a capacity of 30. You can double the mod capacity of a Warframe by using a resource called an Oricon reactor, and you can double a weapons by using a Oricon catalyst. Now every mod has something called polarity. Think of this as that little kid game where you put the circle in the circle slot and the square in the triangle. The square slot. Sorry, I always get that one wrong.
The triangle. We know what hole that goes
The
into,
triangle.
right?
Triangle.
That's right, the square hole. And up next, we have the arch.
The arch. The
And
arch.
you guessed it.
The arch.
It goes in the square
Oh,
hole.
God.
When you match polarities with the ones defaulted on your frame or weapon, it'll have the cost of that mod no matter what the cost is. So I could have this serration mod that has a cost of 14, put it in this V-shaped slot, and then it becomes a cost of 7. This just saves us so much room for other mods with higher costs. And finally, you can add or change any of these polarities by max ranking a frame/weapon, and then applying a forma, which we'll get into more later. Leveling up a mod will directly increase all stats on it, and in some case, increase negative effects too. To level up a mod, you need the aforementioned Endo and credits. Endo is earned by taking duplicate or unneeded mods and selling them for small sums of Endo, but there are more methods that reward thousands that we'll cover later on. This legendary core the game gives us is a major early game boost, and one that I'm going to take advantage of immediately. Since I love rifles in this game, arguably the most important rifle mod in the game is Serration, at least for most rifles. This will give us a plus 15% damage increase at rank 1, but if we use this core, it'll give us a whopping 165% straight damage increase. But now we have to start setting goals for ourselves, and I think a completely adequate goal for this challenge is to set ourselves up with a Warframe and a weapon that can carry us through all of the endgame content Warframe has to offer. And well, I've already decided what frame that's going to be anyways before I even started the video. It's my main frame on my main account, a character that was so broken on launch that even after nerfing her to the ground, she's still considered S tier on most tier list sites, and that frame is Mesa. Mesa is a gunslinger Wild West styled frame that has the ability to stun all enemies in a radius for as long as you have her 2-up, a shield that protects her from 95% of damage and reflects it back to enemies, and her 4, which is a decimating damage dealer that can clear waves of top tier content by itself. With the absurd amount of survivability, the option to build tank, damage, or even boss killer single target. We don't talk about her first ability though, but she stands above the rest as the perfect one-trick pony Warframe. Well, that sounds great. When do we get her? Well, that's great that you just asked that, viewer, because that's what you sound like. For that, we have to endure a hardship like no other. We need to play the video game. Specifically, we have to maneuver through every single planet on the star chart. Mesa is, in a poetic and ironic way, the final boss of the star chart in Warframe. The boss we need to kill to get her is here, all the way on Phobos, which means in order to get to her, we have to go through Mars, Ceres, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and then Eris. But we also have to go through Venus and Mercury. And finally, the last of the basics, Mastery. Mastery is the leveling system of Warframe. It's the most annoying but also the most necessary mechanic in my opinion. Remember how I mentioned that weapons and frames can only level up to 30? Well, each level grants you affinity. Affinity levels up your count/mastery. A weapon at max level will have granted you a total of 30,000 affinity. A Warframe at max level will have granted you 90,000 affinity. And once you are ready to level up your mastery, you have to do a trial. These can be anything from combat, parkour, puzzles, etc. But there's always a time limit and you only get one try per day. There's a few rewards for mastery, but there's two really important ones. The first is unlocking new Warframes and weapons. This just means that you have the ability to craft or use them now. Many weapons and not so many frames are locked behind mastery. Okay, let's wrap this up. I know we lost most of the veterans by now, but the second most important reward is default mod capacity. Remember how our Bratton was level 0 and had 0 mod slots? No? Okay, well, I think I forgot to edit that or something. Okay, it did, trust me. The more you level mastery, the more mod slots a level 0 weapon will have. So if I'm mastery rank 12, my level 0 weapon will have 12 slots. Now that doesn't mean that our max mod capacity goes up to 42. This only helps for leveling the weapon and making it more viable off rip. So with that out of the way, and the looming goal of getting to Mesa is but mere dozens of hours away, let's just start chipping away at our star chart.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We've got a star chart that needs completing.
But you must survive for the future of the system.
After a long day of questing and explaining so many mechanics, I think it's time to wrap it up for today. God, all of that has taken us 6, maybe 7 hours? No, it took 2, and now I have to go to work, so things will only get more complex and exciting from here, however. Today was just a lot of necessary foundation and groundwork of the basic mechanics. There's a lot I left out, like mission types, the way the star charts work, etc. But I just urge you to download the game and figure that stuff out if you haven't already. I'm only going to explain more advanced mechanics that might not seem obvious for people just starting. Anyways, that was a lot of yapping, a lot of technicalities and stuff. Things, like I said, they get a lot better after this, trust me. Also, I haven't uploaded a video in like 3 months. Don't really have a great excuse for that. I just started projects, dropped them, not really sure like what the play for the channel is sometimes, but I have a lot of good ideas, and I think my analysis paralysis kind of just took over and whatever. Anyways, I will see you guys very soon with another video. Make sure you subscribe or